Hey guys, back with another quick update on the fiber optics that I'm running. Starting to get things organized on this upper part here. And what I do is, since if you go to the fiber optics store, depending on what size fiber optics you're using, you can look up on there and it'll tell you the minimum bend that you want to allowing the fibers. These are 0.25 millimeters, which is the smallest ones you can get. They're like um, uh, 156, I think. No, 200. No, I'm sorry. They're like 15 thousandths, 10 thousandths, something like that thick. But anyway, the way I do it is the fibers coming from. Let me get my little pointer out. I'm not organized. This is just a quick video I wanted to do, so you can see a little bit of how I go about this. The fibers coming from this side, I run across, and I cut some openings in here to pass through to go down into the ship itself. I run across. That's to keep them as straight as I can. And this bend over here is pretty gradual. And I just tape them down. You're not going to see that tape or anything like that. And what I do, I gather all the other fibers up on both sides and in the back over here, and I run them all fairly snug. But you want to leave a little play in them, so when you put it in the model, you know they're not pulled real taut or nothing like that. You want to leave a little slack. I tie them off with a small wire tie, the smallest ones you can get, and it bundles them real nice and tight. And then what I do on the other side is I tape the end of them up with just the good old blue 3M, and I cut them pretty close to the tape. That's not final yet, but that's so I can take my styrene tube, which I get in this tube. I can push in a 5mm LED, and it's nice and snug. And before I do anything permanent, I light block the tube just like you would any kind of model that you're just using LEDs, because the light will pass through that tube. And if there's any little light leaks in the model, because this is all fiber optics, I'm not really working on light leaks that much. There's not going to be hardly any. The only light leak I had was down in the back where I put that red LED. But after I put it in, I painted everything on the bottom of it black, so it's pretty much not going to see any light leaking through the where it meets the portion of the ship, the other portion of the ship. But I tie them off like that. I light block my rod, and then what I'll do is I'll take and I'll cut the rod. The LED will go in maybe a 1/4 inch or so, and I'll leave about another 3/4 of an inch for my fibers, so I can glue them in. And I'll stick them in the tube first, and all I'll do is I'll epoxy around the back of the fibers. Say that tape is the back of the tube. I'll epoxy around the back of them to hold them in place nice and tight. That way they won't pull out and everything. So I just want to give you a quick update on how I do that stuff. And now we're going to give you a little shot, just a sneak peek, as to what the lights will look like, and hope this works out. I'm trying to use it with one hand and everything, but there's the side. You can kind of make out the front of it. There's the bridge all lit up and everything. There, the back of it's got the lights. The other side looks pretty much the same. I got some lights drilled in the front and everything, and all that. So things are starting to get there, shape up. Like I said, well, I work on a little bit at a time while I'm waiting for glue to dry, but there's a better shot with the fibers held right up to my flashlight right now. That's all I'm using. I didn't want to hook nothing up permanent yet because I wanted to show you guys a little bit about what I do, but I'm using 0.25s. They wash out a little bit, but not that bad, but I'm trying to keep them in scale with the size of the model. You know, if it was the bigger Revell, I might go with 0.50 millimeter, but those are a lot lot more less bend in them and stuff. The bigger you get, the less bend you can put in the fibers and all that. So the only place I'm using .50 millimeter fibers is in the small landing bay on the underside of the ship. The other landing bay, those are a little bit bigger. I want to light it up brighter, so those are 1 millimeter. But the small landing bay, those will get .50 millimeters, and there's only 6 of them in there, so that's not too bad. But I just want to give you a little bit of an idea as to what I'm doing and all that and everything, so you can kind of start seeing how it's taking shape with the lighting and all that. So pretty happy with the results and everything. And I didn't realize when I was drilling all the holes in the model that I've actually got close to 1,100 holes in here and all that. And that's pretty much, you know, it might be plus or minus 10, 15 or something. But as I've been running the fibers through, I've been counting all my holes and stuff, counting the fibers in each section and all that, and writing them down and adding them up, and I'm close, sitting close, right close to 1,100 holes I drilled in here. So I didn't realize that many when I was drilling. I thought maybe 600-700 at the most, maybe 750. But like I said, when I was drilling them, I stopped counting after 500. So no wonder my fingers were sore. And I drill all of them with a pin vise and a number 80 drill. That's just big enough for these fibers to pop through and everything. So that's about all for now. I just wanted to give you this quick little update and stuff and let you start seeing a little bit about the progress and what it looks like and how I go about installing my, you know, tying off the fibers, getting them to the length. That's why when I do run my fibers, I leave them, in this case, probably about 10 inches long. That way I got enough to, when I bundle them up, you're going to get some that are going to pull a little bit more, so they'll be shorter, some will be longer. So you want to leave yourself enough extra fibers, so that way when you do tie them off and start bundling them up and putting your LEDs and everything in the tubes and everything, and you go to cut them, you'll be able to cut them all equal length, and you'll still have enough to work with to pass through other areas of the models and stuff and tie them all off in one place with all the LEDs. And what I do is, if I'm using a bunch of LEDs, I'll take and I'll glue these styrene tubes, almost like a little battery pack would be. And I think the Republic Star Destroyer, I made a bundle of about 8 of these. And all I did is I wrapped them in electric tape. I painted everything with black to light black, everything. And I had all my LEDs in one place. And all the fibers from all different areas of the ship all met at that central location, everything where there was the most room and all that. So that way I didn't have to worry. And another thing I do with the fibers, I try to keep the electric wires away from the fibers because they do get a little warm, and you know, you could take a chance they might melt through the fibers and everything like that. And you hate for that to happen, especially after you get everything all buttoned up and glued shut, and you got a real nice mount, and all of a sudden some of the fibers aren't lighting. That you know, sometimes that I still use the magnet wire, and sometimes I notice it does get a little warm to the touch. But other than that, that's it. So it might be a couple more days till the next video, because I want to start rocking all this stuff and get everything ready to start cutting my tubes and bundle all my fibers like I got here, and get going with everything. So you guys all have a good one, and until the next video, happy modeling, take care, and bye.